Dan tetapi di manusia lain
Ya, nahnu fi
sesama
ghurfa
kami.
akhar. Nahnu fi ghurfa akhar. فهمت؟ نحن
Oke.
في غرفة في زوم هذا الآن. ننتظر
Oke.
لحظة ثم أنت ستنتقل إلى غرفة التي ماذا الآن تشاهد في هذه برنامج.
طيب في جدول موجود يعني مكتوب بن عموما أواجي، بعدين مكتوب لابوران بلال. ايش مقصود كل هذا؟ موجود كمان يعني 8 لاين من أواجي.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Morning, fellas.
Good morning, fellas.
First of all, let's pray and praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who had given us. First of all, let's pray to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because of His blessing and His mercy, we can come to this very event and attend this event without any obstacle and with healthy condition.
Secondly, let us greet and send salutation to our beloved Prophet Muhammad SAW. Ya, nggak kedengeran. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Morning, fellas. First of all, let's pray and praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because of His blessing and His mercy. We can come and attend this very event without any obstacle and with healthy condition.
Secondly, let us greet and send salutation to our beloved Prophet Muhammad SAW, who had brought us to the path of light and left the darkness in this life.
And also, I would like to say welcome to Mr. Ansarullah from Aqsa Working Group. Thank you very much for coming.
Also, welcome to Mr. Bilal Anbar, the chief of Aqsa Working Group from Palestine. Thank you so much for coming.
And also, I would like to say thank you for the audiences at home that are watching from YouTube. Thank you for watching. So anyway, how's your day going, Ajeng?
Well, actually, I'm a little bit nervous right now because this was my first time emceeing in English, but I'll try my best. How about you, Rafiq?
I felt quite the same. This is my first time being an MC, and I will also try my best. And oh yeah, I think we should introduce ourselves first. My name is Rafi.
And I'm Ajeng.
And welcome to our event,
CHAPLIN.
First things first, we will explain to you what chaplain means.
CHAPLIN is Charity for Palestine. Is a fundraising event for Palestine from the final project of ICLED. Actually, this is a final project from the 11th grade of Alfa Centauri Senior High School. This event is held to support their struggle to take their rights back.
And now, let me deliver to you several agenda of the event today. First, we have greetings from Mr. Isan, greetings from Mr. Ansarullah from Aqsa Working Group, and report from Mr. Bilal live from Palestine. We will have a donation, and then we will have news report from Group 5, 11 Science 7, and presentation from Group 21, 11 Science 7.
Next, there will have a live performance portrait from Group 4, book creator talk show, presentation from Group 4, 11 Social 2, and Group 20, 11 Science 9, singing performance, live performance from Mr. Taufik, and closing.
And now, let's start this event by saying Basmalah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now we invite Mr. Isan to give a welcome speech. Mr. Isan, time and place are yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, YouTube viewers, Alfa TV. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa alihi washabihi ajmain wa ba'du. Praise be to Allah, the Almighty, the Creator, who has blessed us with health so that we are all gathered here to commemorate a very important event, a final project of its kind in SMA Alfa Centauri. Let's not forget, peace be upon our Prophet Muhammad SAW, who has struggled all his life so that we can all enjoy what it means to be Muslim. I feel so blessed and feel honored to be standing here giving a speech for this very important event, a charity project, which is basically a final project for a club, English club in SMA Alfa Centauri, Bandung, where it is hoped that from this final project, the students in 11 graders at least, they are able to learn more about how they can collaborate with each other. As you all know, collaboration is among one of the 21st century skills that they will all be needing when they enter the workforce later. And also, hopefully, from this final project, they will also have a better awareness of what's happening to their brothers and sisters in Palestine. And last but not least, it is hoped that from this project, they will also be able to learn essential digital literacy. As we know that in 21st century, people and everyone, they need to know how to broadcast. They need to know how to digitalize their product and stuff like that. So I hope that there are many, many benefits that they can gain from this final project. And as the title suggests, CHAPLIN, it is meant for society. It's meant to contribute something to society. And in this case, everyone has decided to raise some fund to support the people in Palestine. And maybe some of you might be asking, why? Why Palestine, right? Now, as you all know, during Ramadan, when these Palestinians were worshiping in Al-Aqsa compound, they were attacked by the troops of Israel. Can you imagine you yourself praying, doing taraweh, for example, in masjid, and suddenly someone came and threw gases at you? How would you feel? Of course, you wouldn't feel safe, right? And that feeling has been going on for many, many, many years. So as brothers of the same faith, we have to do something to protect them, to save their lives. And Palestine is where Al-Aqsa Masjid is in. As you know that Al-Aqsa is the first Qibla, the masjid with the first Qibla. And it is where our Prophet, Nabi Muhammad SAW, is leading the other prophets in Salat. So it's very important for us to protect the Al-Aqsa compound with all our life. And for today, inshallah, you will be seeing a lot of special performances from our students in 11 grades. There will be poems, there will be presentations, news report, singing, and also book creator. And they have been selected from many other works. So you will be seeing the best of the best. And I would like to say congratulations to all of you who have been selected. Hopefully, our contribution, although it's small, but hopefully this can send a message to our brothers and sisters in Palestine that we are here to defend them, to show solidarity to them, to support them. And without further ado, let's watch and let's look forward to their performances. However, before that, I would like to say special thanks to Al-Aqsa Working Group, AWG, who has helped us connect with the people in Palestine so that we can see the live event, the live report there from our brother Hilal. And also to AWG, thank you also for being able to accommodate our funds so that those money can be distributed to the people in Palestine. And of course, I would like to say my heartfelt thanks to all the committees here, to the MCs, to all of you who have been gathered here so that this event can run successfully. And to the 11th graders, thank you so much for your hard work. Hopefully you learned something from this project, yeah?
You learn a lot, especially on how you can collaborate with each other. And to my partner, Mr. Taufik, thank you also for your hard work and making sure that this event can run successfully. That will be all from me. I'm definitely looking forward to the presentations and all the other performances from the 11th graders. I hope that you are as excited as I am in watching them. And on behalf of all the committees, I would like to say sorry as well if there are some hiccups or some problems along the way. But the point is we are here learning, and hopefully what we do here can support, can really help those people who have been being oppressed for many years. Thank you again. That will be all from me. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for Mr. Ihsan for the welcome speech. And now we will invite Mr. Ansarullah to give us a welcome speech and also a live report from Palestine from Mr. Bilal.
Baik. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu la nabiyya ba'dah. Allahumma shalli wa sallim ala Muhammadin nabi karim wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Saya pakai bahasa Indonesia saja ya. Bapak Ibu semua. Pertama yang terhormat yang saya muliakan Mr. Ihsan selaku pimpinan SMA Alfa Centauri, yang saya hormati seluruh jajaran pimpinan Alfa Centauri, yang saya hormati komite penyelenggara CHAPLIN Charity for Palestine, yang saya hormati yang dimuliakan Allah Brother Bilal Anbar, Ketua Aksi Working Group Biro Palestina yang tinggal di Gaza. Ikhwan, akhwat semua, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Pertama, tentu puji syukur kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala atas rahmat dan kasih sayangnya kita dikumpulkan di forum virtual pagi hari ini. Alhamdulillah dalam keadaan sehat, dalam keadaan baik, di forum CHAPLIN Charity for Palestine. Yang kedua, kami juga ingin sampaikan terima kasih penghargaan setingginya atas inisiatif penyelenggaraan kegiatan ini Charity for Palestine oleh SMA Alfa Centauri. Kami Aksi Working Group ingin menyampaikan apresiasi setinggi-tingginya atas mujahadah, atas upaya keras yang dilakukan selama bertahun-tahun oleh Alfa Centauri dan seluruh jaringannya, khususnya dalam hal pembelaan terhadap Masjidil Aqsa dan Palestina. Hari ini adalah salah satu bukti dari komitmen pembelaan itu yang ditunjukkan, yang dibuktikan oleh Alfa Centauri. Dan kami juga ingin sampaikan terima kasih sebesar-besarnya atas kepercayaan Alfa Centauri kepada Aksi Working Group selama ini, selama bertahun-tahun, mempercayakan donasinya, mempercayakan titipannya kepada Aksi Working Group untuk disampaikan kepada kita di Palestina, baik di Gaza maupun di tepi barat. Saya juga ingin sampaikan terima kasih kepada Ustaz Bilal Anwar atas kerja kerasnya. Selama ini beliaulah yang menjadi penghubung kita bangsa Indonesia melalui Aksi Working Group dengan saudara-saudara kita di Palestina, di tepi barat maupun di Gaza. Selama ini bukan hanya soal bantuan kemanusiaan yang kita kirimkan yang dikelola oleh Ustaz Bilal Anwar, tapi juga edukasi-edukasi yang dilaksanakan oleh Aksi Working Group yang narasumbernya disediakan atau dihubungkan oleh Ustaz Bilal Anwar. Alhamdulillah. Saya juga ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada seluruh jajaran Aksi Working Group baik di Indonesia maupun di Palestina yang telah bekerja keras untuk menyukseskan berbagai program Alfa Working Group yang berhubungan pada pembelaan Palestina dan Al-Aqsa. Nah, saudara-saudara semua, tadi Mr. Ihsan sudah menjelaskan kenapa acara ini begitu penting, kenapa kita mesti membela rakyat Palestina. Tadi sudah digambarkan oleh Mr. Ihsan. Saya ingin meng-highlight bahwa minimal ada 2 alasan kenapa kita mesti tidak boleh berhenti, setidaknya memikirkan, mendoakan, bahkan membantu rakyat Palestina. Alasan pertama tentu saja alasan keagamaan, bahwa di sana ada Masjid Al-Aqsa, masjid ketiga yang dimuliakan oleh umat Islam, oleh Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Masjid kiblat pertama umat Islam sebelum Masjidil Haram di Saudi Arabia, di Makkah Al-Mukarramah. Di sana ada Masjid Al-Aqsa yang saat ini tadi digambarkan oleh Mr. Ihsan dalam keadaan dinodai, dikuasai oleh Israel, sehingga umat Islam sangat sulit untuk memuliakan, sangat sulit untuk beribadah di Masjid Al-Aqsa. Tidak hanya umat Islam yang ada di Palestina atau bahkan di Al-Quds saja, atau bahkan kita yang di luar Palestina, bahkan umat Islam yang di sekitar Al-Quds itu juga sangat sulit untuk beribadah dengan tenang di Masjid Al-Aqsa. Terakhir kemarin mereka orang-orang Israel itu begitu arogan, memprovokasi, bahkan masuk ke Masjid Al-Aqsa dan beribadah ritual Yahudi mereka di Masjid Al-Aqsa itu haram. Nah, itulah alasan pertama. Alasan kedua tentu alasan kemanusiaan. Rakyat Palestina baik di tepi barat maupun di Gaza itu begitu menderita hidupnya karena setiap hari harus berhadapan dengan tentara Zionis Israel. Tidak hanya orang-orang laki-laki dewasa, tapi anak-anak, perempuan, orang tua itu sama nasibnya, menghadapi kesulitan yang sama dengan orang dewasa. Mereka semua menderita karena mempertahankan Masjidil Aqsa. Mereka semua menderita setiap hari itu karena mempertahankan, membela Masjidil Aqsa. Mereka tidak ingin Masjidil Aqsa sebagai masjid yang kita cintai semua oleh umat Islam itu sepenuhnya jatuh ke tangan Zionis Israel. Jadi oleh karena itu, dengan 2 alasan itu tadi, alasan kemanusiaan dan alasan keagamaan, maka kita sepatutnya setiap hari tidak berhenti memikirkan, mendoakan, dan membantu rakyat Palestina untuk mempertahankan Masjidil Aqsa. Sekali lagi, saya ingin apresiasi setingginya kepada panitia penyelenggara program CHAPLIN pagi hari ini, dan tentu saja terima kasih kepada jajaran Alfa Centauri, khususnya kepada Mr. Ihsan atas inisiatif ini dan atas kerjasamanya selama ini dengan Alfa Working Group. Terima kasih juga kepada Mr. Bilal, Ustaz Bilal Ambar atas menjana. Perlu diketahui para ikhwan semua, selisih waktu kita dengan di Gaza itu 5 jam. Jadi kalau kita sekarang jam 10, berarti di sana mungkin baru selesai sholat subuh. Jadi masih sangat mohon maaf koneksi terputus barusan. Di beberapa video yang sudah diunggah di YouTube Alfa Working Group, saudara-saudara ikhwan semua bisa menyaksikan bagaimana konten yang dibuat oleh Ustadz Bilal Ambar dengan berbahasa Indonesia. Jadi kita berharap nantinya kecintaan Ustadz Bilal dan Palestina khususnya di Gaza dengan Indonesia itu akan dibuktikan dengan Ustadz Bilal belajar bahasa Indonesia. Mudah-mudahan ini bisa kita dukung dan nantinya Ustadz Bilal akan betul-betul lancar berbahasa Indonesia. Demikian yang bisa saya sampaikan. Sekali lagi terima kasih. Kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ustaz Bilal, hal anta jahiz? Apakah sudah siap, Ustaz Bilal?
Siap, insyaallah.
Ya, alhamdulillah. Baik. Setelah ini mungkin bisa langsung disampaikan apa yang ingin disampaikan oleh Ustaz Bilal. Tafadhol, Ustaz Bilal.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Saya Bilal Mahmud Ampar, selaku Ketua Aqsa Working Group AWG Biru Palestina yang bermarkas di Jalur Gaza. Menyampaikan salam hormat kepada ikhwan dan akhwat. Terima kasih banyak kepada masyarakat Indonesia yang terus memberikan dukungan dan donasi yang terbaik kepada masyarakat Gaza Palestina melalui Aqsa Working Group dan lembaga kemanusiaan lainnya. Kami berdoa semoga Allah Subhanahu wa taala memberkahi harta dan amal ikhwan dan akhwat masyarakat Indonesia. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Kami AWG Gaza Palestina menjalankan program pendidikan dan program kemanusiaan. Untuk program pendidikan kami mengadakan sejumlah pertemuan dengan ulama senior, para penjaga Masjid Al-Aqsa dan kaum intelektual dari Masjid Al-Aqsa Palestina dan luar negeri, menjadi narasumber di webinar-webinar Aqsa Working Group untuk menjelaskan tentang pentingnya perjuangan pembebasan Masjid Al-Aqsa, kiblat pertama umat Islam. Adapun program kemanusiaan setelah perang terakhir di Gaza, kami mendistribusikan lebih dari $85,000 kepada mereka yang terkena dampak perang melalui pembagian 1,000 kupon makanan, juga distribusi uang tunai kepada luka perang, keluarga syuhada yatim piatu, pemilik rumah yang hancur. Untuk musim dini, kami melaksanakan program yang disebut Hangatkan Palestina. Kami membagikan bimanas, selimut, kasur, pakaian anak-anak. Kemudian AWG menutupi sejumlah atap rumah warga Gaza agar tidak terjadi kebocoran saat hujan lebat tiba. Di bulan Ramadan, kami membagikan kupon dan buka puasa kepada orang miskin di jalur Gaza dan mereka yang ditempatkan di dalam Masjid Al-Aqsa. Alhamdulillah, sekarang kami sedang mempersiapkan program pembagian kompor gas untuk mengakhiri penderitaan banyak keluarga miskin Palestina. Dan kita sedang mendekati hari-hari yang penuh berkah yang mana Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam bersabda dalam hadis, tidak ada yang lebih besar di sisi Allah dan aku tidak suka bekerja di dalamnya daripada 10 hari ini. Artinya yang dia maksud adalah di 10 hari pertama di bulan Zulhijjah. Karena banyak keluarga Palestina yang tidak dapat membeli daging dan tidak memakannya kecuali pada hari raya Idul Adha, maka kami membuka pintu mengajak anda di hari-hari yang penuh berkah ini. Kami mengundang anda untuk menjadi sahibul kurban di tanah bara Nabi Palestina. Membeli haiwan kurban dan membagikan dagingnya kepada keluarga miskin di jalur Gaza, Palestina. InsyaAllah. Semoga Allah Subhanahu wa taala membalasmu dengan kebaikan serta keberkahan yang berlimpah. Amin ya rabbal alamin. Salam hangat dari kami, warga Gaza, Palestina, untuk masyarakat Indonesia. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Masya Allah, bahasa Indonesianya bagus sekali Ustaz Milal.
Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Jazakumullah khair.
Thank you, Mr. Bilal and Mr. Ansarullah. And if you guys can scan the QR code, you can go to the link description below. Also, thank you for the donation, Mr. Taufik, Ciro, Dian, Chaplin, Mr. Isan, and Lita.
Oh yeah, and speaking of donation, have you seen our posters yet? On that poster, there's a QR code that you can scan to donate.
And you can donate via GoPay, OVO, Dana, and Transfer Bank.
Now moving on, we will have a video of news report from Group 5, 11 Science 7, and presentation from Group 21, 11 Science 7.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
As reported by the Takrib News Agency, or TNA, thousands of Palestinians clean up the Al-Aqsa Mosque on the eve of Ramadan in preparation to welcome Muslims all over the world. Places include the courtyard, praying halls, and other places in the area have been cleaned out in this ceremony, and some of which are being renovated. After the COVID pandemic restricted activities and traditions of Muslims all over the world for the last 2 years, many people are enthusiastic to celebrate traditions and religious activities in Ramadan again this year.
One of those traditions can be seen as hundreds of Muslims gather in Jerusalem on Monday evening to witness the giant lantern being lit as a part of an event to welcome Ramadan. In addition to that, lanterns and lights can also be seen around the buildings and streets as locals decorate their homes and streets with intricate designs carved into the lanterns.
In the West Bank, the several Gaza alumni in the Youth Exchange and Study Program can describe something similar. To celebrate this holy month, we decorate our houses, streets, and windows with beautiful lights in the shape of crescent and stars. We start our day very early to have the suhoor meal, the meal eaten before Al-Fajr prayer, which comes before dawn. Some youth from the area volunteer to wake people from their sleep every day during Ramadan for suhoor. They do this by wandering the streets and banging on drums and singing a special song, reminding people that it is time to wake up and have suhoor.
These are the dishes for iftar. Musakhan is one of the most famous meals in the northern West Bank cities. It consists of roasted chicken and caramelized onion. This is kidre. Kidra is Palestine traditional dish that is cooked with meat. And this is makluba. It is national dish from Palestine, but it can also be found in Syria, Iraq, and Jordan.
Palestinians hope for a calm Ramadan in Jerusalem this year as they participate in this holy month.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from 11 Science 7. My name is Najwa Aulia.
My name is Putina Mila Syafa.
My name is Hala Alifa Sadeli.
And I'm Sabita Rosida Bayani.
And this time we will share about Palestine, the situation, the conflict, and how to help our brother and sister there.
Okay, the first point that I would like to explain to you is the history behind Israel and Palestine conflict. This conflict began from the Zionist movement or the Jewish nationalism, which was popularized by a journalist named Theodor Herzl. This movement led to the displacement of the Jewish community from Europe to the Middle East region, which at that time was still under the Ottoman rule. The power of the Ottoman Empire ended when it suffered defeat in World War I. This defeat didn't happen only because of British and France, but of the Arabs themselves who were under Ottoman rule. The Arabs revolted because they were consumed by the promise given by the British. The promise was the British would have the Arabs to become an independent country if the Arabs fought the Ottomans. This defeat was also the beginning of the creation of an agreement that contained the division of territory of the former Ottoman Empire. This agreement known as Sykes-Picot Agreement. In this agreement, the Palestinian territories haven't been handed over to any country, and because of this agreement, the Arabs didn't get the territory of the former Ottoman Empire, and it was also impossible to form an independent government as promised by the British. But at the same time, British gave the Jews a promise to support the establishment of a Jewish state in Palestine as stated in Balfour Declaration document. This document is the basis for the Jews to establish a state in Palestine and also facilitated Jewish immigration from Europe to Palestine in the 1920s and 1930s. As you can see here, the Jewish immigration from Europe. So for the conclusion, the promise that the British gave to Arabs and Jews made these two countries feel entitled to the Palestinian territories. This Arab-Jewish conflict is the background of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that we know today.
So what is actually happening in Palestine? Within the last 50 years, Israel had already occupied the remaining land of Palestine. About 85% of Palestinian former territories are now under Israel's control. The Israeli government had developed settlements for Israeli Jews in the occupied territories, which led to an expansion of the Israeli population in the occupied areas. On the other hand, 6 million Palestinian refugees actually live in camps across Palestine and neighboring countries. This includes more than 70% of Gaza residents. Even so, under international law, refugees actually have the right to return to their homes and property. This gives many Palestinians hopes to return to their homeland. Next. Israel also arrests many Palestinian civilians. Israel forces had threatened and arrested countless Palestinian citizens. As you can see here, there are many Palestinian children that are beaten physically and also imprisoned. Many of the victims are from villages near the separation wall built by Israel to divide them from the settlements. Israel also holds more than 400 Palestinians, including children, women, and other residents in prisons. In the last wave of arrests, Israeli forces arrested 2 Palestinians suspected of killing an Israeli officer in defense of a violation the government due to them. The military then invaded their hometown overnight and captured another 12 people. Next. Military attacks in Palestine also happen when the Israeli military launch numerous attacks, which are usually missile fire. In one of their latest raids, the Israeli military sent warplanes to launch a strike in the Gaza Strip, targeting a weapons manufacturing facility controlled by the Hamas, which are the Palestinian group that governs the coastal enclave area.
And next, I would like to share the latest cases in Palestine. The first one is about Shirin Abu Akleh. She is a journalist He was shot and murdered on May 11th while reporting on an Israel military operation in Jenin refugee camp. She had worked as a journalist for more than 3 decades, and despite wearing a press vest, which indicated that she is a journalist, she was shot in the head by Israeli forces. Although Israel first denied their soldiers' involvement, there were no Palestinians present in the location. The next one is Al-Aqsa bombing. After Subuh prayer on April 22nd, which is in the holy month Ramadan, Israeli forces fired tear gas upon Palestinian Muslims in Al-Aqsa. They bombed Al-Aqsa. They have no qualms about arresting Palestinians and torturing them. This has been going on for a long time.
Next is why we need to care about Palestine. The first reason, and can be priority, especially to Muslim and Muslimat, about why we should care about Palestine, is the message of the Prophet Muhammad which he conveyed in the following hadith. Do not force yourself to travel except to three mosques, namely the Grand Mosque, the Nabi Mosque, and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The hadith show how important the Al-Aqsa Mosque is for Muslims. Al-Aqsa Mosque is the first Qibla of Muslims. So many important events in this holy land. Masjid Al-Aqsa is a holy land that Allah has chosen. Second, the tragedy occurred that in Palestine is a crime against humanity, especially for Palestinian civilians. According to UN data in 2002, Palestinian refugees scattered in the Gaza Strip and West Bank reached 5 million people, and 40% of that number were Palestinians. They until now cannot return to the land they were live. Third, land of the prophet. In Islamic history, is it recorded that several prophets grew up and spent a lot of time in Palestine, or at that time it was called a land of Sham, starting from birth to preaching to Palestine. So with this great history, is it only natural that Palestinian land must be defended and protected from the dirty hands of the Israeli occupation, which not only expel Palestinians but also destroy many historical sites. Fourth, the first Qibla of Muslims. We need to know that the Kaaba is not the only Qibla that is the direction for Muslims to pray. Before the Kaaba, the first Qibla of Muslims was Baitul Maqdis or Al-Aqsa Mosque. Until finally, in the second year of Hijri, a revelation came from Allah to the Prophet Muhammad to move the direction of prayer or the Qibla to the Kaaba. And how can we help our Muslim brothers and sisters in Palestine? There are several things we can do to help, including provide medical supplies, repair Masjid Al-Aqsa, give cash grants, raise awareness, provide food, and make stupa.
That was all from us. I hope you find our presentation informative. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wow, that was an awesome news report and presentation.
And I would like to say thank you for Delafirin for donating and Mira for donating.
And now we're moving on to live poetry performance.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, we are from Science 1, 11 Science 1. We are from a group of school. So we're gonna present about Palestine, our Palestine. The tale of year 1948 until unknown. They took my heaven. They tear down my grave. They cut my blood tie. They took my stand. They took and never returned it back. But he has promised, and that's for sure. Can I ask for just only a day without any smoke, without any shoot, without any scream, without any fear to lose breath, without any of this? Is that too much for us? I'm tired. Can you see? Where are you? Every night you blink by night wall. Every day we blink by blood. Every week you watch a movie. Every month every minute we watch murder. Every month you buy a new dress. Every year we use the same clothes. We wait day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. How many pages we have through? Why us? Where is the ending? When will it come? Why? Where? When? Tell me. Again and again they took it from us. That white shirt, bathing with blood. Will this messy end up with smile, or just only a prey? But story began to spread to all of direction, but replies never come. I have heard the bird story, but how can I give a hand when I don't have it? Look, even my life full of misness, I add again scars to my ears. And then something begging my heart, guilty shadowing my step. So I made my soul as a pen to replay the bird story. I'm sorry. I locked myself in my own ego. No, I'm ready to be your self and sword. When smoke and dust blend, I thought I'll never see again. And then come a hand between this messy. I will keep your hands in mine until the time comes. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Waalaikumsalam.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, my name is Sinta. Hello, my name is Salwa. Hi, my name is Salona. Hello, my name is Tiara. Hello, my name is Sayo. And we are from Science 1. We are group 4 of book. And we're gonna present the story about Palestine.
They took my heaven. They took my rib. They cut my blood tie. They took my stand. They took and never returned it back. But he has promised, and that's for sure.
Can I ask for just only a day without any smoke, without any shoot, without any scream,
without any fear to lose breath, without any of this? Is that too much for us? I'm tired. Can you see? Where are you? Every night you blink by night wind. Every day we blink by blood. Every week you watch a movie. Every minute we watch murder.
Every month, you buy a new dress. Every year, we use the same clothes. We wait day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. How many pages we have through? Why us? Where is the ending? When will it come? Why? Where? When? Tell me.
Again and again, they took it from us. That white shirt, bathing with blood. Will this messy end up with smile? Or just only a pray? Bird's story began to spread to all of direction. But replies never come.
I have heard the bird story, but how can I give a hand when I don't have it? Look, even my life full of misness, I add again scars to my words, and then something begging my heart, guilty shadowing my step. So I made myself as a pen to reply to the bird story. I'm sorry. I locked myself in my own ego. Now I'm ready to be your shield and sword.
The smoke and the splendid, I thought I'll never see again. And then, come my hand between this messy.
I will keep your hands in mine until the time comes.
What an amazing poetry from Group 4.
Yes, the poetry was great. Also, thank you for Kay for donating and Umi Chusmia. Thank you for donating. Now, we're moving on to talk show with book creators from Group 1.
Please welcome the representative of Group 1 book creators. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to say congratulations because your creation is chosen as the best in the E-Club final project.
Also, welcome and congratulations. And please introduce yourself.
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Piral, and I'm here as a representative for my group consisting of 3 people. They are my friends, Rahmania Hardila and Naila Aziza.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, why are you interested in making a book for E-Club final project?
Okay, so what makes us interested in making a book about this is that seeing a very different reaction about the conflicts took place between Ukraine and Palestine, and we just thought we see the double standard, and we just thought it's very interesting to make a book about it to spread more awareness and bring this issue up. But at the same time, we want to make it as an easy access to everyone. So we thought making a book is the perfect way.
Also, I want to ask, what is the main point of this book?
Okay, so conflicts took place between Ukraine and Russia. The whole world started talking about it. The head of America came out and spoke about it. The whole world spoke about it. But Palestine has no value. Whenever Palestinians bring up about Palestine, they are told to let's not bring politics into this, whether at school or whether at like a workplace. And now we are bombarded with the support Ukraine at every grocery store, work meeting, and in retail advertisements. The hypocrisy is very infuriating. Suddenly, people are very comfortable talking about politics. Suddenly, workplaces are very comfortable sending out mass emails and hosting fundraisers for a political cause. The hypocrisy has always been very obvious, but seeing it over and over again is very emotionally draining. When it's Ukraine, they don't ban or removed any of its related. But when it's Palestine, they removed every single thing that related to it. It's just media hypocrisy and Ukraine's defiance in the face of facing Russia's aggression has been always dubbed as heroic. So why don't the Palestinians resistance get the same treatment?
Thank you so much for your attendance here. And also, we were welcoming the representative from Group 2. Hello, from Group 2.
Hi.
Welcome. Also, please introduce yourself first.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm here as the representative of Group 2 because we couldn't come to the school, so we participate in Zoom. Yes, my name is Diandra, and my team consists of Miranda, Asritna, and Dea. We are from 11 Science 6.
Okay, for group 2, I have the same question. Why are you interested in making a book for a club final project?
We have noticed that many horrible things happened in Palestine, especially for the life of many children has drastically changed, and they have no choice but to face it and have to become stronger of what happened to their home.
Also, I have the same question. What is the main point of this book?
This book tells us about a Palestinian boy named Zaid, where his life is drastically changed in Palestine, and it is forcing him to face another bitter world, better than before.
Okay, so thank you for group 1 and group 2 for the presence here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And now we're moving on to presentation from group 4, 11 social 2, and group 20, 11 social 9.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to speak in front of you today. Before we begin, let me introduce my group. My name is Hanif Rabani. This is Rizky. This is Dian. This is Diva. And this is Faras. On this occasion, we are going to share about Palestine.
So, Palestine, located on the eastern coast of Mediterranean Sea, Israel and Palestine had been going on a conflict for over a century. The tension between both of them is all about ancient religious hatred. So the Palestinians is Muslim and Israel is Jews. With religions involved, it's most likely about two groups who claim the same land. The brief history and key events, it started when the British take control of Middle East, where the Ottoman Empire had fallen and in World War I. So in 1946, there is Zionism ideology by Theodor Herzl, believed that Judaism is a nationalist as well as a religion. Many Jews from all across Europe were fled from persecution in anti-Semitic Europe, especially the Nazi Holocaust. And from that ideology, it claimed that they deserved the land based on their religion, which is Palestinian land. While Arab or Palestinian, on the other hand, are already living on their ancestor homeland for thousands of years, so Jews are more likely to be refugees. The tension between both groups who fight over the same land had made United Nations to declare a partition plan in 1947, which rejected by the Palestinians because it doesn't fair, leading the civil war and the end of the British mandate. The events of 1967 is 6 days of war, where Israeli warplanes striking Egyptian airfields and managed to conquer Sinai, Golan Heights, Gaza, and West Bank. On 1973, there are Yom Kippur War. Israel forces managed to counter-attack Egypt and Syria invasion. By the late of 20th centuries, Palestinian frustration exploded into the Intifada, which the Arabic word for uprising. The Second Intifada in the 2000s are more chaos from protest to boycott than it becomes violence.
International relations. Indonesia was one of the first countries to recognize Palestine's independence. In bilateral relations, Indonesia and Palestine haven't done much cooperation on one side because of the restriction by the Israelis to Palestine. Most of the assistance we had done to Palestine are humanitarian aid, volunteering, donating, infrastructure, construction, and others. Our school foundation Yayasan Takwa Cerdas Kreatif is one of the Palestinian fundraiser. These are some humanitarian activities for Palestine that our school foundation has carried out. In fact, we have been doing it from 2017 until now.
World opinion on this crisis. Present moment, global public opinion is generally more sympathetic to the Palestinian cause, creating real concern among Israel that an international boycott movement called BDS could pick up some support. 83% of the world countries and almost every countries that even Arab or Muslim majority recognize Israel. Palestine current situation, there are still frequent attacks, and the current Palestinian area on Google Maps doesn't have the name Palestina, but the name is Israel. Actually, the current situation of Palestine is also widely covered up, so that is not highlighted by media. But here are some things that are highlighted by media, as in Saturday, April 4th, on the West Bank, Israel troops killed 3 Palestinian groups. Friday, April 29, at the Al-Aqsa Mosque, there were 42 Palestinians injured due to attacks by Israel police forces. Friday, May 13th, an Al Jazeera journalist named Siran Abu Akleh was shot by Israel troops.
And then what can we do for Palestine and Palestinians? As simple as doing this presentation already means spreading the awareness of these issues. By contributing on this project, we can achieve our final project main aim. And then we can always pray for our Palestinian brothers and sisters. Besides our school foundation, kitabisa.com platform also providing donation to Palestinian. Even if we only donate the smallest amount of money, Allah's blessings will go far beyond anything we could ever imagine. Let that's all from us. Hopefully, this information will be useful and can increase our sense of humanity. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone, and how are you there? I hope all is well. Before we start this presentation, we will introduce each name in this group, starting with Andrea.
Hi, my name is Andrea Matimatino Gunawan. I'm from class 11, Science 9.
Hi, my name is Akmal Malika Satria, and I'm also from class 11, Science 9.
My name is Aditya Dipasha Putra, and I am also from 11 Science 9.
Okay, and my name is Cevan Ahtariski, and I'm from class 11, Science 9. Okay, and this time we will discuss about the history of Palestine and what has happened in Palestine to date. And let's see. As we know, Palestine is the name for the southwest region of the land of Sham, which is an area located in the western part of Asia and the eastern coast of the Mediterranean Sea. The classic name of the Palestinian territory is Canaan, because in recorded history, the nation that first settled in Palestine was the Canaan nation, who came from the Arabian Peninsula. Palestine is a small territory that has played an important role in the ancient and modern history of the Middle East. The history of Palestine is marked by political conflict and land grabs. Palestine is at a valuable geographical crossroad between Africa and Asia. Today, the Palestinian people have a strong desire to create an independent state because they have been fighting for it.
Next up is what is the connection between Palestine and Muslims? Palestine and Muslims have a close relationship due to its history involving the Caliph Umar bin Khattab. A lot of Palestinians embraced Islam because the Muslims at the time introduced peace, affection, and did not want to bring war to Palestine. During the Umayyad and Abbasid dynasties, peace and order continued to be maintained in Palestine. Muslims also never forced other people to embrace Islam. In addition to the arrival of Islam to Palestine, the Palestinians also began to adopt Arab culture that were carried by the Muslims at that time. Until now, Arabic language is used in Palestine. Next up, the state of Palestine is blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after Medina and Mecca. According to the scholars, the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Palestine and its surroundings is a blessed country because in that area Allah sent a number of his apostles to preach and even stay there. Therefore, the existence of Palestine as a blessed land and it's undeniable because in several explanations of the verses of Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned many times the glory and blessing of Palestine. Next up.
So with known that Palestine and Israel has been conflicted over years and years. The conflict between Israel and Palestine began in 1948. It started because of the conflict between Israel and Arab countries. Since then, it became worse day by day. Israel keep attacking Palestine armory and have no mercy to Palestine. Palestinian citizens couldn't find a way to fight back since the armory are destroyed. Palestinians are increasingly suffering because Israel is increasingly colonizing Palestine and making citizens. It's hungry and have no place to live. Some residents who tried to fight were considered terrorists and were executed on the spot. Therefore, there are many victims from the Palestinian community who feel stranded because all their rights are taken and most of their family have been killed by Israeli troops. Israel has often dropped bombs on Palestine since the conflict began, and that has caused a lot of casualties. And the worst thing is that Israel doesn't look at the victim. Even a lot of children are killed for fighting back. Even based on the data from the UN Office Humanitarian Coordination, OCHA UN, since 2008 until 2021, 5,739 Palestinians have died as a result of the conflict. The number reached 95% of the total fatalities in both countries. As many as 21.8% of the fatalities in Palestine were children, aged less than 18 years old. And even so many peace attempts have been carried out, but so far have failed. Some Israelis even feel that Palestine is an Israel territory and it's natural to be colonized. Some gossip saying about Israel is helped by NATO, but who knows? Only time will tell the truth. So how will this conflict end?
The conflict between Palestine and Israel is still continue until now since decades ago. The many ways that have been taken don't seem to be the main solution to be able to resolve the conflict between these two countries. Even lately, the conflict is getting hotter. Therefore, in an effort to contribute to realizing peace and resolving conflicts between Palestine and Israel, we are looking for several possible solutions. Firstly is two-state solution. This solution is the most realistic solution because the purpose of the concept is that the two countries live side by side as one country with Jerusalem as its capital. And secondly, disbandment of Israel. Because of various attempts have experienced many failures, Israel to end the conflict and Israel occupation of Palestine. This effort is also something that has been done before. For example, the dissolution of the Soviet Union. After dissolution of the Soviet Union, Russia emerged as a new global power. And the last, be the middleman. This solution may sound very difficult to work. There are many tests that must be considered to be a mediator. As a Muslim majority country, we tend to be pro Palestine and otherwise we don't have a good relationship with Israel. Like a bridge, its legs must be connected equally to unite Palestine and Israel because if one of the legs is weak, the bridge will automatically be damaged and which means is it will not success in acting as a unit. Thank you. That's all from us and have a nice day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.
Thank you for listening, everyone.
That was an excellent presentation, guys. And thank you for Fidel for donating. And I have an information for you guys. So if you want to read the book from group 1 and group 2, you can go down to the link in the below. So now we will continue to singing performance by singing group 3 from 11 Science 7.
How did I end up this way? I'm not okay. I'm stood, but I hardly move. Feels like I'm going crazy. Memories going hazy. It all happens so fast. It's pitch black. There is nowhere to look. All I had is one day. Two lights are fading away. I feel empty, empty. Now I am all that's left. You feel me, you feel me. I prayed, but the pain is not over. Horror fills my head since December. I can't think, can't even remember who I am, what I stand for. Living in the midst of war. Someone help me. Free me, free me. Now I am all that's left. You feel me.
That was very stunning and amazing. A song from group 3.
You're right. That was a very amazing song. Anyway, don't forget to scan the QR code and donate to Palestine. And the QR code is valid until June 17th.
And now we're going to have a special performance from Mr. Taufik. To Mr. Taufik, please enter the stage.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. Free Palestine! Our beloved Palestine, we can't let you go. When is the bloodshed going to stop? We really don't know. Lots of innocent children are dying. Israel is to blame. Israel is to blame. But always lying. Young children hide in fear. I can't bear to endure this and begin to tear. The poverty rate in Palestine is really high. The children want their mom and begin to cry. Many Palestinians die of starvation. This is all because of Israel's occupations. Most don't have a place to stay. They need the world's aid without delay. Israel blocked Palestine from the world. Orphans hide in corners, arms and feet curled. The Palestinians are in constant worry, yet they must endure Israel's fury. We can't see our brothers fall, yet we do nothing at all. The world needs to come together, or this war will go on forever. Israel wants Al-Aqsa, so they criticize and accuse that we certainly refuse. The Palestinians want peace. Yes, Allahu Akbar. The Palestinians want peace. Only with Israel's release, which they will not seize. Israel and Palestine are like a cockfight. The world can't watch this horrific sight. Yet, nobody wants to unite. How can the US support these crimes in these tough economic times? So, please stop the bloodshed, because lots of innocent Palestinians are dead. Palestine must be free, because the occupation is a monarchy. I know there are a lot of rabbis out there that agree with me. On every news headlines, from Jerusalem to the shoreline, Israel must free Palestine. Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad.
Wow, that was a stunning performance from Mr. Taufik.
Yes, indeed, it was a very amazing performance. I really admire his talents. And before we end the show, I would like to remind you that the QR code to donate is valid until 17th of June. And you can donate via GoPay, Alfa, Dana, and Transfer Bank.
Well, that's all, folks. Unfortunately, our event has to end.
And we are very thankful for the committees, AXA Working Group, Mr. Ihsan and Mr. Taufik for making this event possible. And most importantly, for you guys who are watching from YouTube, thank you very much for participating in this event.
We're very sorry if there are any inconvenience. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.